IRL streaming, you have to rely on donations solely. So that's why someone like me is a little bit more crazier with my streams, because I'm fully funded by my audience.
I think if I get sent to prison again, I'm gonna go psycho. And I think at that point, there's no more Ramsey at that point. I feel like I'll go crazy.
That cannot be more wonderful. That cannot be more apt punishment for Johnny Somali if he gets 8 years in a Korean prison.
Guys, after being hit with his 8th criminal charge, Johnny Somali is now facing the biggest problem of his life. That's right, 8 charges. And now, even more news is leaking out. Allegedly, the South Korean authorities have seen clips where Johnny sparks outrage by saying things like, Japan should occupy Korea. That's not just disrespectful, it's dangerous. So now, South Korean officials aren't sitting quietly anymore. They are desperate to hold Johnny Somali accountable. And it's not just the government. People online are also freaking out. Some are saying Johnny is threatening others even while under investigation. Others believe he'll be deported soon. There are tons of updates swirling around right now. But the biggest question is, can Johnny Somali actually defend himself, or is this the end of the road? Let's break it all down in this video. So, as you already know from the latest updates, Johnny Somali is now about to face new criminal charges. And according to legal experts like Legal Mindset, the next case might be related to that disturbing incident on the bus.
Those people were asked specific questions about a bus. So we think it's highly likely it's a bus.
Let's be honest, what Johnny did there was disgusting and completely uncomfortable for normal people. Especially with minors possibly present, it crosses a major line. And don't forget, he's already in trouble for the Lotte World incident, where even the guardians and parents of the victims filed complaints against him. If this new charge goes through, there's a high chance more criminal acts will be added to the list for his repeated misbehavior. Now here's the real question. Does Johnny Somali have any real defense left? Because in my last video, we saw how Johnny claimed he didn't do any deepfake crimes. He said someone else sent him those videos. And he's using the same kind of excuse for the Lotte World allegations too.
Where Lotte World's at, there's an amusement park over here that I did a stream here like a few months ago in September. And my chat was sending me North Korean songs and donations. So the police interrogated me.
So you probably heard Johnny Somali saying that the police instigated him during the stream. But let's be real. If we actually watch the real footage, we can clearly see what really happened. What exactly made the police step in? Was Johnny truly being provoked, or was he just causing problems and disturbing the public again? And once you see how the authorities were struggling to stop him, it raises a serious question. Was he being instigated, or was he actually obstructing businesses and disturbing the peace?
Car, I don't know what's happening. Where's exit? Take me out. I want to leave this park. But I pay money. I pay money. But security said I can make a video, YouTube video, okay. Now YouTube is not okay? Because I'm What?
So when a clip like this is out in the public, there's really no debate left about whether Johnny Somali did something criminal or not. I guarantee you, if 100 people watch it, all 100 will say he should be held accountable. Now, of course, Johnny tries to defend himself again. He says someone sent him that song and he didn't understand the language, so he just played it in his chat. But the way he behaved after seeing what it was, there's no excuse for that. He knew exactly what he was doing, and there's no defending it. At this point, Johnny Somali has zero shame. If I ever stood in front of him, I'd honestly just ask, why are you so shameless? But you know what? I wouldn't even want to stand near him. Because even the people who've been around him in real life say, you literally can't stand close to Johnny Somali. He stinks, he doesn't care about hygiene, and that's not even surprising anymore. People like that, with no self-awareness or respect for others, can absolutely go on to do worse things. Anyway, back to the main issue. Right now, South Korean authorities have also found footage where Johnny Somali was seen provoking Japan take over South Korea. That could easily be considered a territorial threat, and that's serious business. Now, the media and news articles are starting to confirm it too. Let's take a moment to watch exactly what Johnny Somali said in that clip.
Island. No, not dope, no. Japan owns the island. I'm telling y'all, Japan owns that island. And Japan come back and take Korea. This my message to the judge. This my message to the prosecution. If y'all don't let me free, Donald Trump gonna let me free. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. When Johnny Somali runs for party president,
So if the judge or prosecution actually questions him about this, you already know what Johnny Somali might say. He'll probably claim, "It wasn't me, the chat made me do it." That's been his go-to excuse every time. Blaming the audience, saying people in his stream told him what to do and he just followed along. According to Johnny, he didn't commit these crimes on his own. It was always the viewers pushing him. And his other ridiculous logic, he straight up said that if he doesn't do this shady stuff, people won't donate money to him. So basically, in his mind, unless he's harassing people, disrespecting cultures, or acting wild, he won't make money. But let's be real, that's not a defense. That's just a confession that he knowingly chose views and money over basic human decency.
IRL streaming, you have to rely on donations solely. So that's why someone like me is a little bit more crazier with my streams, because I'm fully funded by my audience.
When you're a live streamer, you're always trying to, I'm always trying to make my chat go fast. I'm always trying to get the donations flowing.
If you don't have a chat, you don't have an audience. A lot of IRL streamers like me, or just streamers in general, chat is God.
Can you even imagine Johnny Somali still trying to come up with fake excuses to defend himself? Like seriously, at this point, no one's buying it. And you know what? The Korean judge and authorities aren't playing games anymore. They're done watching this clown act. Right now, they're preparing something very serious, and it's not looking good for Johnny. What's even crazier? Johnny Somali doesn't even fully realize how deep in trouble he is. He probably doesn't even know that a new charge has already been added. Maybe he'll find out when the court notice hits his doorstep, if it hasn't already. Even legal experts like Legal Mindset are concerned. They're talking about how much prison time Johnny could actually face, and it's stacking up fast. At this point, it's not about if he'll be punished, it's about how long and how bad it's going to get.
Remember, the default was about 2 years. Now it's 4. Now it's 4. The aggravated minimum, which I think is very possible, is 8 years and 4.5 months. Think about that, people. A minimum of 8 years and 4.5 months. That cannot be more wonderful. That cannot be more apt punishment for a Johnny Somali if he gets 8 years in a Korean prison. Of course, the maximum has not changed from 12. That's the cap, statutory cap, so they can't go beyond 12. So I do think it is very realistic at this point to say Johnny Somali is looking at anywhere between 4 to 12 years, particularly to say 8 years. My guess is now around the minimum, so 8 years and 4.5 months. I think this is my guess in terms of categories. I don't think he's going to get the max. I don't think he's going to get default. I think this is where he'll land, but of course, it is completely reasonable for him to get this as well.
So, as you heard from Legal Mindset, Johnny Somali's prison sentence likely won't go beyond 12 years right now. But earlier, some news outlets were throwing around numbers like 46 years or 35 years. According to Legal Mindset and the guidelines of Korean law, that's not going to happen. At most, Johnny Somali can face an aggravated sentence of up to 12 years, and if he gets the minimum or default sentence, he could end up serving between 4 to 8 years in prison. Now here's my question to you. Do you think 4 to 8 years or even 12 years is enough for what Johnny Somali did in South Korea? Personally, I don't think so. I can't agree with the idea that this kind of punishment would be true justice. Some might say, well, even 4 years in prison won't be easy for Johnny Somali. And yeah, that might be true, but still, I don't think that fully serves justice for everything he did. So what do you think about my concern? Do you agree with me or not? Let me know. And don't forget the creepy warning Johnny Somali gave before all this. He literally said that if he goes to jail, he might become a psycho, and that maybe the name Ramsey won't even be alive anymore.
I think if I get sent to prison again, I'm gonna go psycho. And I think at that point, there's no more Ramsey at that point. I feel like I'll go.
This is the fear everyone wanted to see from Johnny Somali. If he had actually thought about the consequences before doing all those awful things, disrespecting people, disturbing public spaces, harassing others, then maybe today he wouldn't be facing this level of punishment. So now the question is this karma finally catching up to him? Because people like Johnny Somali, who constantly cross the line, act shamelessly, and never take responsibility, they don't deserve kindness. They deserve to face the consequences of their actions just like anyone else would. Do you agree with that point, or do you think something else? Let me know your opinion. I really want to hear what you think about all this.